Thank you for tuning into this review of Black Mirror's Common People. This episode, I was not ready for it, okay? Netflix, Charlie Brooker, you guys are bold for kicking off season 7 with this episode. I mean, Black Mirror fans, if you know, you know. The seasons usually don't kick off with such a strong, memorable episode such as Common People. But nonetheless, this was such a beautiful love story, yet it stayed very close to its Black Mirror roots. And the love story element to me of it was as good as The Notebook. It's as memorable as Titanic. I mean, they really killed it with the love stories and the emotions in this episode. But nonetheless, guys, let me introduce myself. My name is Brandi, and I do realize that you could be on any channel in the world right now, but you're right here with me, and I do appreciate that. So before we get started, be sure to like this video and also subscribe to my channel if you do like watching TV show reviews and also movie reviews. Now, today what we're going to be going over is, at first we'll start with no spoilers. We'll do a no spoiler synopsis and my review / rating of the episode. Then I want to get into the spoilers and talk specifically about what I loved about this episode. Lastly, I'm going to go over 2 alternate endings that I wrote for this show. So let's start off with the synopsis. When a medical emergency leaves school teacher Amanda fighting for her life, her desperate husband Mike signs her up for Rivermind, a high-tech system that will keep her alive, but at a cost. Now, there were only 3 main characters in this episode, which made it very intimate, and it made the performances really brilliant, by the way. So this episode starred Chris O'Dowd. He played Mike, the sweet and doting husband. We have Rashida Jones. She played Amanda, the wife that was in the accident. She killed it. And then we have Tracie Alice Ross. She played the sales rep at Rivermind, the technology company. Now, for me, this episode checked off all 5 boxes that make a Black Mirror episode a true Black Mirror episode. For one, it had the technology with the twist. The technology in this episode was called Rivermind. 2, it had the social commentary aspect of it, where it takes digs at certain things going on currently in our culture, in our society, okay? 3rd, it had the moral gray areas where they didn't specifically mark out a villain or a hero. It was no villain or no specific hero in this episode. 4, it had the emotional gut punch. In fact, it was a whole body blow for this episode. And lastly, it had the haunting, ambiguous ending where you can interpret it however you want. There's no right or wrong to how you interpret the ending of this episode, Common People. So the check boxes were marked, okay? Before we get into spoilers, I do want to dig in and let you know about the social commentary that this show took digs at. For instance, it took digs at the streaming services, okay? It took digs, in my opinion, I don't know if anybody else thinks that, but I think it was taking digs at the healthcare industry as well. I also think it was taking digs at our subscription culture that we're in, that once you upgrade to a certain tier, now the packaging has changed and you need to pay more money for it, okay? And it also took digs at just the ad culture, how you see so many ads everywhere you go. Everywhere you scroll on the internet, it's ads. Every time you turn on the TV, everywhere you're somewhere, and you don't even know you're being advertised to half the time. All right, so now we're getting into some light spoilers. I just want to go over what I liked about this show. I'm definitely not going over a blow-for-blow recap. I encourage you to go over to Netflix and watch Common People because it's that good. And we have to support this show. We have to line Charlie Brooker's and Netflix pockets because this episode is so good. But nonetheless, let me tell you what I loved about this show. I absolutely loved the performances. Chris O'Dowd, oh my God, he made me cry. He made me so sad because his performance as a loving, doting husband to Rashida Jones was so powerful. He loved this woman through and through. He would do anything to make her happy, anything to try to make her healthy. And he even sold his damn tooth for her. I also love the cinematography and what the cameras decided to focus on in this episode. For instance, feet. Feet were a big deal in this show, right? We see that at the beginning of the show, Mike, he always, before he goes to work, he kind of like touches her feet gently before he walks out, like a symbol of love. And that's what we do when we love somebody. Sometimes you just touch their feet gently. And the way the camera angles were at the end, don't want to spoil the ending just yet, but the way the camera angles were at the end and the way they showed her feet, oh my God, that was so, to me, that was just so beautiful. Again, just something that'll make you cry. How it started off with the feet and it ended off with the feet, okay? I also love the color scheme of this show. Something about their lives just seeming so bleak, so dull. They hardly had any colors at all. Something about the bleak, muted colors that was sending a message that I haven't quite figured out yet. But comment down below if you know what I mean. And when when Amanda and Mike first meet Tracie Ellis Ross, you notice she has a pop of color. She has like a bright peach suit on. So she's very colorful and vibrant, and they're very dull and bleak. So not sure what kind of message that was sending. Comment down below and let me know. Or am I thinking too deep and the color scheme didn't mean anything? I also love the technology in this show. I could definitely see Elon Musk coming up with a river mine type technology in the future. And if this does come out in the future, hopefully it'll be covered by health insurance, so we don't see families in the same situation like Amanda and Mike, because to struggle financially just to keep a family member alive is just devastating. And we see a lot of that going on in today's world right now. All right, so now we're going to get into really heavy spoilers because I want to talk about the ending, and I want to talk to you quickly about 2 alternate endings that I came up with. So for those of us that's seen it, we know that Mike ends up killing Amanda at her request. She wanted it. He purchases her one last Rivermine Lux gift card, turns her serenity up to the max, so she's happy. She's in a great state of mind. They're enjoying a cup of coffee outside. And she tells him, it's time. Make sure you do it when I'm not there, meaning you kill me, but make sure you do it when my ads are running, meaning that she's not in the right state of mind. She won't even know what's happening because she's unaware, right? So they go back in the house, and after her Rivermine Lux 30-minute gift card runs out and she returns more to the shell of herself, just running her ads again, he smothers her with a pillow, right? He was so sad. He's so distraught. Again, you could just feel Mike's love for Amanda through and through this show. He smothers her with the pillow. He's distraught. He's throwing up after it, in fact. And then he proceeds to go back into his computer room, right? Because he was part of the Dumb Dummies, where he does obscene things online to make money by force because he had to, right? So we don't know exactly what happened. All we see is that he goes into that room with a box cutter, right? So some people are assuming, hey, he's going to kill himself. That's what my husband thought, like, oh, he's just going to kill himself. But I'm thinking he's going to do one more like crazy act online on Dumb Dummies. Like he's going to do something so crazy. He's going to kill himself ultimately too, I think. But I think he wants to make it more of a public display. But again, that's what makes this episode so good, because there's a lot of ambiguity at the end. But nonetheless, great ending, great show. But what I would have loved to see, since this show, the heart of this show was all about a love story, I would have loved to see Mike and Amanda just die in a very romantic way. Not that is really a romantic way you can die. You guys know what I'm saying, right? I would have loved to see them just hand in hand, and maybe just a potion, like a potion or a poison that kills them, and they're holding hands, and they die together on the bed, right? But just the smothering her with the pillow, to me, I mean, that just felt kind of cruel, just in my opinion, for how much that he loved her. But I just thought that was the wrong form of killing her, right? So that's one thing I thought of, maybe just make the death a little bit differently. And also, the second alternative ending that I was thinking of is I wanted him to turn up on Rivermind a little bit, because a lot of things that were happening to their family was their fault. They kept changing the subscription prices, kept changing the perks that were in their packages, and Mike just could not keep up with paying those bills. So I would have loved to see him pull, maybe like the way Joan is Awful. Do you guys remember how Joan is Awful ended? With Joan going up to those headquarters, and she went ham. Like, she was breaking stuff. She was trying to get to the bottom of everything that happened. So I would have loved to see Mike go to the headquarters of Rivermine. I would have loved to see some kind of big confrontation. Have a confrontation with her, but maybe in a discreet fashion. Hack the computers or something. Like, keep his wife alive somehow from the back end. Get into those computer rooms. Her consciousness is uploaded into the computers. Like, find out a way to keep her alive. Like, maybe, if you still had to die, just go out with a bang, right? But anyway, make sure you subscribe, turn your notifications on, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.